San Marcos is a city in between Austin and San Antonio off of I-35.
It's where all this, for people who don't know, like I'm very familiar with it, it's where all the outlet mall are, like the Tanger outlet malls and that's all San Marcos.
Yeah, this is a very unique issue because I, for one, haven't really dove too deep into what I think is a very important area of discovery, if you will. The city of San Marcos decided to take it upon themselves to find out exactly how much of their tax dollars were going to foreign aid, in particular to Israel. And it turns out that a city of 70,000 people is allocating $4.5 million annually to go to Israel. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
This isn't just federal dollars. This is actual state.
That is taxpayer dollars. That's taxpayer dollars.
It's the real thing.
Yeah.
And so the city decided, no, we don't want to do this anymore. And Greg Abbott decided not only is he going to condemn them for saying that we will not be allowing for any dissent against the state of Israel, Texas Governor Abbott threatens to pull San Marcos funding over Israel's ceasefire resolution. And so this threat to cut off state funding to the city of San Marcos after its leaders agreed to put Israel-Hamas war, stop calling it a war, stop calling it Hamas. This is a genocide.
I don't know this publication, so we don't know what the bend of this publication is. I don't know.
This is Austin. This is a local publication.
No, it's Austin American Statesman. So I don't know if they, but again, not everybody is, but if you're still referring to this as a war, then although they might just be referencing that because that was the actual name of their resolution. That might be the actual name of the resolution. All right, sorry.
That may be true. That may be true. The San Marcos City Council voted April 15th to advance a ceasefire resolution with a formal vote scheduled for tomorrow. That resolution includes support for ending U.S. military funding of Israel with federal and local tax dollars. See, that, ladies and gentlemen, is really where your tax dollars are at play. So when they say local tax dollars, that means the actual money that they take from you to pay the government. That's money that they are deciding without your consent that they're giving it to Israel. Abbott, in a letter sent to San Marcos Mayor Jane Hewson on Tuesday of last week, said there would be consequences if the resolution passes. The letter states that no governmental entity in Texas may enter into a contract worth $100,000 or more unless it includes a written verification that the contracting entity does not boycott Israel. The idea that this is in a city charter in the state of Texas, that you do not boycott Israel.
Well, here's what's even more frustrating about this, and I don't know if people remember this, but Texas has had an anti-BDS law on their books it was a long time. And in fact, there was a woman, I believe that she was somewhere in the Houston district area, that was someone who the school district would contract with for, I think she was like a speech pathologist or something like that. And when her contract came up for renewal, she noticed that there was a new clause in it saying she had to swear not to boycott, divest from the state of Israel. This is a Palestinian woman, mind you. So when she pointed that out, they refused to renew her contract if she didn't sign that deal. So she decided to sue them and she won. So that's why this is interesting that this is happening in Texas, because they've decided that this is not okay. So that's why I think that this is obviously like a stunt. It's not something that would be real. But yeah, that's just my thought on this. They've decided this there.
Abbott added that the city's proposed resolution seems calculated to violate this law by calling for San Marcos to limit its commercial relations with Israel. The city resolution states that more than $4.4 million in San Marcos residents' tax dollars went to Israel.
Oh, my God.
Abbott rebutted the statement, calling it hard to believe. What's hard to believe?
Well, you don't get to just say that unless you can dispute the evidence. So, I mean, you don't just get to say that. Okay, it might be hard for you to believe.
Abbott added that the resolution's call to reallocate those dollars away from Israel's military and towards essential domestic priorities are unacceptable. Had a public expression of a desire to do what state law prohibits. You got a bad law there then.
It's already been not overturned, but it's already been sued. Like they've already sued that.
Well, is there any more?
This has already been dealt with there. Anyway, let them pay out more money to more people that want to sue them.
Despite Abbott's claims, San Marcos resolution states that it seeks to curb anti-Semitism rather than promote, because this is promoting anti-Semitism, Jen. The resolution ends with the city council condemning any anti-Palestinian, Islamophobic, anti-Semitic, and all xenophobic rhetoric and attacks. San Marcos officials declined to comment on Abbott's letter, saying they do not provide comment on items that are scheduled for consideration by the full city council. The resolution will be done tomorrow. This is crazy.
We're in crazy town.
But maybe not entirely surprising.
But isn't it interesting that this is, and simultaneously today I saw that Texas apparently has a new city, a city for Elon Musk. And it's a complete city that voted. I think it was established today. Like they just got incorporated. There's this whole thing. It's called, I don't know. It's based around the SpaceX thing. It's somewhere outside of like Brownsville. I mean, well,
maybe he'll finally get that underground tunnel.
But here's the thing. I saw a picture, and this could have been, again, I never know now because there's no point to having the onion anymore. But I saw a picture of a giant bust of Elon on the grounds of what looked like where they were breaking ground for like this new center city. And it's going to be people that work at his SpaceX thing. So he now has an official city. So Texas is creating cities for Elon,
Texas,
while punishing the people in San Marcos for not wanting their literal tax dollars to go towards a genocide.
Sounds like the type of thing that's now going to become a trend. The next thing you know, Bezos will have one, Zuckerberg will have one.
Right. Well, I forwarded the thing to you, and I'm like, this is the most Texas thing I've ever seen. Was Elon Musk
and the
getting
final
a city.
thought before you bring up your graphic, Abbott can categorize the resolution as pro-Hamas because everything, and I mean everything, is pro-Hamas. Israel is a stalwart ally of the U.S. and a friend to Texas. No, they aren't. In fact, they are the enemy of all enemies, as far as I'm concerned. No friend of the United States, and certainly not a friend of Texas.
Well, everything having to do with them is just hastening the downfall of American empire. But any standing or anything that, honestly, I think we've been buffoons for years already at this point to the world. So I don't know how much of, but definitely our relationship with Israel, or our connection to Israel, is hastening our demise. And I'm kind of for it in that way. Again, like I look at them trying to pick a fight with Iran, and I see it and I'm like, no, that's horrifying. That's horrifying. But part of me wants them to get to the find out portion. It's play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And the idea of that they're so arrogant that they want to start with Iran and they expect it to not end up with leveling Israel is insane to me.
Do you have that nice little graphic before we bring in Mr. Sosby? There it is.
Is that what you're referring to? Or you want to discuss our little...
Ooh. Dr. Evil, Lord Farquaad, Syndrome, and Aloysius O'Hare.
It actually makes sense that Musk is the one with the city, since Lord Farquaad was had his little kingdom. It actually makes sense.
I would agree. And this should not come as any surprise to anybody, but this is what happens when you allow for the never-ending concentration of wealth into the hands of a few people.
Few very small men.
Yes.
It's very small men.